was your day, Zach? Like, really, how was it? Not the, yeah, it was fine version people always give when they don't want to explain anything.
Wow, you're going straight for the deep end. Okay, honestly, it was one of those days where I was busy all day, but at the end, I asked myself, what did I actually accomplish? You know that feeling when time just slips through your fingers?
Oh my God, yes, that hits way too close to home. I had a similar day. I woke up early, answered messages, scrolled a bit, okay, a lot. Then suddenly it was afternoon. I was exhausted, but I hadn't done anything meaningful. It's like running on a treadmill and going nowhere.
Exactly. Busy doesn't always mean productive. I think that's one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. We feel tired, so we assume we earned that tiredness, but sometimes it's just wasted energy.
That's such a good way to put it. So, what did your day actually look like, hour by hour?
All right, let me break it down. I woke up around 7, grabbed my phone first thing, bad habit, I know. I told myself I'd just check notifications, but one thing led to another. Emails, social media, random videos. Before I knew it, almost an hour was gone.
Classic, the just 5 minutes trap. 5 minutes that somehow turns into 60.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Then I had breakfast, answered some work emails, did a few tasks that felt urgent but weren't actually important. By lunchtime, I felt like I'd been working nonstop, but when I looked back, nothing had moved the needle.
That phrase, move the needle, I love that. It really makes you think. I had a similar realization today. I kept jumping between small tasks like cleaning, replying to messages, organizing files. Useful stuff, sure, but none of it brought me closer to my goals.
And that's when the question hits. If time is money, then what did we actually spend today? Or worse, what did we waste?
Oof, that's a hard question. People always say time is money, but most of us don't treat it that way. We guard our money carefully, but our time, we give it away like it's unlimited.
Exactly. If someone stole $50 from you, you'd be furious. But if social media steals 2 hours from you, you just shrug and say, oh well.
When you put it like that, it hurts, but it's true. So, when did you start thinking seriously about turning your time into money instead of just spending it?
Honestly, when I realized my income was capped by my hours, I was trading time for money in the most literal way. If I didn't work, I didn't earn. And one day I thought there has to be another way.
I remember feeling that too, like being stuck on a hamster wheel. You run faster, but you're still in the same place.
Yeah, and the scary part is it feels normal because everyone around you is doing the same thing. So you don't question it until you're burned out.
So, what was your first step? Like, what changed in your daily routine?
At first, nothing dramatic. I didn't quit my job or anything. I just started paying attention to how I used my time. I asked myself at the end of each day, which hours made money and which hours just disappeared.
That sounds simple, but it's actually powerful. Awareness is everything.
Exactly. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I realized I had pockets of time, early mornings, late evenings, that I was basically throwing away. So I decided to experiment.
Experiment how?
I used 1 hour a day to learn something that could pay me back later. No pressure, no overnight success mindset, just one focused hour. I cut out distractions, put my phone on airplane mode, and treated that hour like an appointment.
I love that. 1 hour sounds manageable. People often think they need 5 hours a day, then give up before they even start.
Exactly. Consistency beats intensity. That 1 hour started to compound. And the funny thing is, once I knew that hour had value, I stopped wasting the rest of my day so carelessly.
It's like when you start budgeting money, suddenly you notice where every dollar goes.
Yes, time budgeting, same concept. And honestly, that changed how I talk about my day. Instead of saying I was busy, I started saying I invested my time or I wasted my time.
Those words matter. They change your mindset. So today, would you say you invested your time or wasted it?
Today was half and half. The morning, total waste. But in the afternoon, I caught myself, sat down, and worked on a small project that could actually generate income later.
That's still a win. Progress, not perfection.
Exactly. What about you? Was today a good investment?
Honestly, mostly wasted. But I learned something important. I'm way more productive when I'm intentional. When I just go with the flow takes me straight to procrastination.
That's such a real insight. The flow isn't always your friend.
Yeah, I think talking about our day like this, breaking it down, being honest, already makes a difference. It turns a normal conversation into a reflection.
Totally. How was your day sounds like small talk, but it can actually reveal how you're living your life.
And maybe that's the first step to turning time into money. Not some fancy strategy, but simply paying attention to how your day really goes.
I couldn't agree more. Before you change your income, you have to change your relationship with time.
That's a powerful line, and I think tomorrow I'm going to treat my time with a little more respect.
Same here. One day at a time, right?
Right, baby steps, but intentional ones.
You know what's funny, Lucy? Once you start respecting your time, you also start noticing how casually other people waste theirs, and sometimes yours too.
Oh, yes. Suddenly, everyone wants a quick call that somehow lasts an hour. Or they ask for just a small favor, and boom, your whole evening is gone.
Exactly. And the tricky part is, you don't want to sound rude or selfish, but at the same time, every yes to someone else is a no to something that could actually change your life.
That was a hard lesson for me. I used to say yes to everything because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. Then one day I realized the only person I was constantly disappointing was myself.
That hits deep. I went through the same thing. I thought being busy for others made me a good person, but really, I was just avoiding responsibility for my own goals.
Wow, that's honest. So when you started turning your time into money, what was your biggest mistake at the beginning?
Oh, easy. Chasing shortcuts. I wanted fast results. I jumped from idea to idea, hoping one of them would magically work overnight. Classic get-rich-quick mindset.
Let me guess, none of them worked?
Not even close. I wasted months like that. Looking back, I wasn't investing time, I was gambling with it.
That's such a good comparison. Gambling feels exciting, but investing is boring, and boring is usually what works.
Exactly. Real money comes from boring consistency, showing up even when you don't feel motivated, especially when you don't feel motivated.
Motivation is overrated anyway. It comes and goes. Discipline is what pays the bills.
Amen to that. Another mistake I made was undervaluing my time. I accepted low-paying work just to feel productive.
Oh, I've been there. You tell yourself, at least I'm earning something, but deep down you know it's not worth it.
Right. When you work for too little, you're not just losing money, you're losing future opportunities because your time is already booked.
So true. Cheap work is expensive in the long run.
Exactly. Once I realized that, I started asking a different question. Is this worth my time, not just my effort?
That question alone can change everything. So how did your daily routine evolve after those lessons?
I became more intentional. I stopped multitasking. I grouped similar tasks together, and I protected my most productive hours like they were gold.
Let me guess, mornings?
Bingo. Early mornings are my golden hours. No messages, no noise, no drama. Just me and focused work.
I love mornings too, but I waste them way too often. I scroll before I even get out of bed.
Same here, or at least I used to. Now my phone stays out of reach. I tell myself if it's important, it can wait 1 hour.
That's powerful. Most things aren't as urgent as they pretend to be.
Exactly. And that 1 hour, that's where the magic happens. Learning, building, creating, that's how time turns into money.
I think people underestimate how small habits compound. They think 1 hour doesn't matter, but 1 hour every day is 365 hours a year.
That's a full-time job right there.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, most people already have that hour. They just spend it scrolling, complaining, or binge watching shows they won't even remember next week.
Guilty as charged. But once you realize that entertainment is fine in moderation, not as an escape, everything shifts.
So if someone asked you, how do I start turning my time into money? What would you say, in simple terms?
I'd say start by tracking your time for a week. No judgment, no shame. Just observe. Awareness comes before change.
That's such solid advice. You can't fix what you don't see.
Exactly. Then pick one skill that has long-term value and commit to learning it consistently, not perfectly, consistently.
I love that you keep emphasizing consistency. It's not sexy, but it's real.
Real life isn't sexy, it's repetitive, but repetition is where mastery lives.
That should be on a poster somewhere.
Maybe someday. Another big lesson for me was patience. Money from time investment is delayed, and people hate waiting.
We're addicted to instant results. If it doesn't work in a week, we quit.
Exactly. But delayed gratification is the secret sauce. The people who win are the ones who keep going when nothing seems to be happening.
That's so true. Most people quit right before things start working.
And then they say, it doesn't work. No, it didn't work yet.
That word yet changes everything.
It really does. So now, when I talk about my day, I don't just say what I did. I ask myself what that day built toward.
That's such a mature way to look at it. Not every day has to make money, but every day should build something.
Exactly. Some days you plant seeds, some days you water them. Harvest comes later.
I love that metaphor. It takes the pressure off.
And it keeps you sane, because if you expect every day to pay off immediately, you'll burn out fast.
So true. Looking back at today, even though we both wasted some time, this conversation alone feels like a good investment.
I was thinking the same thing. Reflection turns experience into wisdom.
And wisdom turns time into money eventually.
Exactly. It's all connected. How you talk about your day reflects how you live your life.
So maybe the real question isn't how was your day, but what did your day create?
That's a powerful way to end it.
Yeah, tomorrow I want to be able to answer that question honestly and proudly.
Same here. One intentional day at a time.
Deal. Let's make our time count.
Always.